As an employer, you may already be providing your employees job accommodations. You just don't call it that. Have you done anything differently to allow an employee to stay in a job or be more effective?
Would you be okay if I changed my work schedule so it can match up with my ride? I'm wondering if I can come in at 8 a.m. instead of 7, and I can stay later until 4 p.m. to make sure I get all my work done.
Sure thing. That costs us nothing.
If you've done anything to help your employees' work productivity, you've provided a reasonable accommodation. And just what is reasonable accommodation? It's any change in the work environment or in the way things are normally done that enables a person with a disability to succeed on the job. It can be applied at any time in the employment process, during pre-employment for the application, or after hiring in the work environment. This can include modifications to facilities, processes, or practices. What are some examples of job accommodations? Use of assistive technology, change in schedules, working from home, change in work location or eliminating marginal job tasks, and reassignment and leave time as last resorts. These are only a few examples of job accommodations. It's important to remember that accommodations are specific for the needs of each employee and situation. How will providing accommodations affect your bottom line? You may be surprised by how little it could cost. More than half costs nothing. When costs were involved, the average was about $500. In some cases, state agencies like vocational rehabilitation may actually pay for job accommodations. When you factor in the cost of employee turnover, accommodating one of your employees with a disability may actually save you money, time, and headaches. So who's eligible for an accommodation? Well, it's pretty broad. Applicants, full and part-time employees, seasonal and temporary workers, any worker with a disability that has an impact on a major life area is covered by the ADA. The employee must be able to perform the essential job functions with or without reasonable accommodations to be eligible for an accommodation. How does the process begin? It generally starts when an employee with a medical condition or disability asks for help because of his or her concern in performing their job. The employee can make the request in his or her own words. They can send an email, write a note, or ask someone to make a request for them. It's quite possible that the employee won't use the word reasonable accommodation. That's quite all right. As the employer, you can have a formal process that employees must follow. Such a process will help the employee, supervisors, managers, and HR staff. You will need to respond to the request on a timely basis. The law says you must make a good faith effort to talk with the employee to investigate the best solution for them. The law describes this as the interactive process. Given their experience living with a disability, the employee may come up with the cost-effective solutions. You can deny an accommodation request if it is an undue hardship or presents a safety concern. Ultimately, it's up to you, the employer, to decide the accommodation, taking into account the employee's disability, the job, and where the work occurs. Employers sometimes think they need all of the employee's medical documentation. You don't. It's the employee's choice for when to disclose their disability. An employer only has the right to documentation about the disclosed disability that requires accommodation. All medical information is confidential. The employer may tell coworkers there will be a change, but not why. Employers may make disability and medical-related inquiries as long as they ask the same questions of all employees in the same job category.
Anyone can acquire a disability at any time, whether from genetics, age, medicine, or accident. As an employer, you should foster equity in the workplace and have a conversation with the employee about possible accommodations.